Yeah. Okay. We're recording. So this is urine therapy class number 4. Today it's approximately 10:25. We've got Natalie joined in, and say hi.
Hello.
And our brother Nicola out in Serbia. We're waiting on him. So 2 important items to have when you're doing urine therapy are one of these cotton pads that women use for cosmetics or for taking off makeup or whatever it is. And oh yeah, do the angel wings. Those are great. And the other thing to have is a cotton ball. Now with a cotton ball, for example, once you've dipped this into the Shivambu, then you can use it for any skin condition, whether it is just to smooth the eyes, to take off these little blemishes under the eyes. If you got sunspots, liver marks, if you've got shaving conditions, anything. This is awesome. You can, yeah, like Natalie had suggested, you can put this in your belly button anytime you want to do the belly button protocol. Anytime you get a cut, a scratch, an insect bite, a bug bite, you either grab your hand and put it on there, or if you happen to be in the bathroom, some people keep these around near their urine supplies so they can always use that. Or you can use this if there's a delicate thing you want to put the urine on, then you can use the soft cotton pad. So these things are everywhere. Any department store, drugstore has those. Any questions? Angel, any questions?
I just lay in my bed and put the urine right in my belly button, like full strength without using cotton balls. Same on my skin. I just rub it on like, I don't know. That's what I do. Works for me.
Well, that is the correct answer. Thank you for playing. You see, when we mention this class after class, since it's your water that's been designed and crafted by the creator in a perfect blend for you, it also comes with information and energy. And in that information is innate wisdom or intuition that says how to use it, when to use it. And you're going to come up with all new ways to apply it as you go on the journey.
Yeah, I've discovered that when I do the eye drops, using aged urine is so powerful that it stings and burns my eyes. So I didn't really like that. So then I've been using fresh urine for eye drops, and that's much better.
Yes, and I'm so glad you brought that up. It's a great comment. Somebody says, "Can you put straight aged urine in the eyes?" I said, "Well, if you're ready for a sting and a shock, yeah, go for it. Or you can use fresh, or you can combine the fresh and the aged or distilled water and come up with whatever's the gentlest approach."
That's a good idea too. Yeah, this morning I took a shower with it, washed my hair with it, and did an enema with it, did lots of self-care.
Yeah, so you're able to do like a whole bunch of protocols. Well, are you taking baths or showers?
Well, I plugged my drain, and then I used like 4 of my jars, and so I could stand in it at the same time. So I kind of had a foot soak going on too. And so then I would just rinse myself with it all first and kind of let it sit on my skin for a while. And then I'd just take a cold shower really quick, a little bit, to take the edge of the smell off, because my 12-year-old daughter is getting a sting conflict over and over again.
It's terrible.
And she wants to move out now because she don't like the smell. But thank goodness it's springtime in Minnesota, so we have the windows open to get fresh air, and she is having a hard time with it and really doesn't want me to be her mom anymore.
Well, what's her name? What's your daughter's name?
Rosanna.
Rosanna, your mom is special. She has a hobby that makes her beautiful and strong. So please support her. She doesn't love you any less. She loves you just as much and more. Does that make any sense, guys? Okay, good. So today we are going to, well, I wanted to know if you had any questions, if we can do a quick review of things you've been learning last 3 classes or last 2 classes. Is there anything you go ahead.
One thing that that really like kind of shocked me and opened my mind was when you said, oh, well, you can share each other's urine too. We can drink other people's. And so I had the courage to ask one of my soul kings the other day, like, I was just telling him about my urine therapy when he was in my bathroom. And I was like, would you want to give me your urine so that I can bathe in it and have your essence all over me? And he's like, maybe next time. So I asked nicely, but didn't quite get that yet. But
well, you're finding that you're going to get a variety of responses from people who have different associations with that water.
Yeah, it's really quite fun.
it is a lot of fun, and each one you get to see what you're made out of by how you respond to it.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, what's great about talking to me and talking about anybody who's in the water family is that you can totally open up and talk about things that you wouldn't normally discuss with your friends and your loved ones.
Yeah, the vulnerability is great. But I'm like that with everybody, so I don't know. It's normal for me, so because I like to go deep right away. So it's like, and I observed if I drink like any caffeine in any of my drinks, I'm realizing, oh, that's in that urine, the caffeine in there, and so because I don't know, maybe I don't know if the body can filter out all the caffeine and take. I'm sure it's got to be in the urine again.
Well, you'll taste it, won't you?
I don't know. I can't distinguish the taste according to what I'm eating. Like, I can't tell, like, oh, that has caffeine in it or that doesn't. And then I mix them together sometimes. And
yeah, well, you got a powerful filtration system.
Yeah, I was just aware of when I was drinking my, like, looping it again at night. I was like, oh, well, if that has caffeine in it from the day, I'm just keeping myself awake even longer at night. That's what occurred to me yesterday.
So do you feel like you're caffeinating yourself at night?
With my looped urine, yes.
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, maybe if I keep looping my urine, because I took my jar with me now, like we talked about in another class, when I'm at the gas station, I took my bag in with me with my jar in it and kept it. So then when I'm driving, I'm drinking it. Yeah, I'm drinking and driving.
A whole new meaning.
Yep, exactly. And so
you would have a lot of fun if a cop ever pulled you over. Get out of the car. Now I want you to touch your nose and walk. And you'd like clear and straight. He's going, what do you got in that jar? It's medicine.
I think I might not ever need caffeine again because this energizes me so much. Exactly. And so I'm just observing each day and seeing how more vibrant I feel. And
yeah, have you noticed that your eyes radiate more? Nicola has joined the building, has joined our call.
Oh, good. I don't necessarily feel like my eyes radiate. I already have really good eyesight, so I can't really tell a difference. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not. Hi, Nicola. We're
oh, hello. Do
yeah, you've been introduced. Say hi to Natalie and her dog.
Oh, hello, Natalie. How are you?
Hi, Nicola. Doing super good.
Can you see me clearly, or like?
Yeah, you're fine. We got you from the neck up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here.
So Natalie, what I was referring to is that people who drink urine have a sparkle in their eyes. They have a radiance. They have a light that shines out of their eyes. I can see it in you. And I was wondering if anybody else noticed that. It's like they're looking at you go, what is she on? She's so good looking and happy. What is she doing?
Yeah, this is definitely enhancing that because I already felt that for a couple years now before I started this urine therapy. So yeah, I would say this is definitely enhancing my vibrancy.
So you have the secret now, guys. You have the secret of youth and immortality. And from what I imagine, what everybody been talking about, all these explorers from Spain and Portugal and England, they were looking for the fountain of youth. They ended up in Florida. They went all these places, and we have it.
And we have it everywhere. That's what what's the good thing about it is like everywhere there is a human being, there is a fountain of youth.
Everywhere. Now, guys, don't be calling me. We're doing a class. Thank you. So do you have any questions, either one of you, about what we've been studying so far that you'd want to review or get clarity on?
Well, the only thing I would like to ask is that the idea pop up in my mind. I was researching about like healing with the sun, like heliotherapy, and
yes.
like there are people like, for example, if they have spine that isn't like formed right or something, like there was ancient therapy to like get exposed like 5 hours to the sun every day, and for some period of time, like everything realigns. So I was wondering if it's possible that the same is achieved with like urine that was put on the sun and then massaging oneself or something like that, like a chiropractic adjustment.
Yes, people have said that leaving it in the sun in a glass jar energizes it or raises a vibration. Some people go to the extent of putting crystals inside their water. Some people put them under pyramids. They try all kinds of energy devices.
Oh.
And experiment and see what you come up with.
Yeah,
Yesterday, I just ordered this water. It's called a Amaya water, I think. I'll show it to you when I get it. But it makes the energy vortex like a little tornado with your water. And as soon as I saw it, my intuition told me, get that and put your urine in it and do the tornado to energize it. So I'll show you it when I get it next time.
Yeah, please do. Does the spinning rotate clockwise or counterclockwise?
That's a good question. Does it matter?
No.
Oh, when I get it, I'll have to see.
I think it's just the fulcrum, the effect of accelerating its content or its molecules.
Yeah, I remember when I was a vegan, I would take like a distilled water and put in a glass jar and put it outside for like in like a just a glass, not like any particular color, because I know people do that also. And that was funny because like that's one of the best ways to see that sun actually does energize the water.
Right.
I would be taking like drinking that water, and then afterwards I would drink just pure distilled water. And when I drink a sun charged water, I would feel like kind of like a little bit heavy and stronger. But if I take pure distilled water afterwards, I would start to shake and I would feel like something is coming out of my veins. So
now Natalie was talking about giving herself a full bath of the Shivamba while she's in the bathtub and just putting it everywhere and then standing in it like a foot soak. Well, some of the folks who've been putting out some of the videos, like Dr. Bumi Samola in Africa and Ma Davy in France, they give themselves full baths out in their backyards. They take their urine with them and they either wearing a swimsuit or nothing, and they just give themselves a full out bath, stand outside until it dries up, get dressed, and that's it. And some of the folks like Ma Davy in France, she says she's never allowed herself to be in city water. She doesn't want to go near all those chemicals and all the toxins in the water. So you're going to find your way to get yourself healthy. Now, the other day on one of our calls, we talked about doing a compress. And for people who have really unhealthy bodies or have migraines a lot or some real serious health conditions, you might want to experiment with what's called a body compress. You simply get a wool cloth or a plastic wrap if you have to, and make sure their body is saturated with Orin. And, if you're using cloth to cover them with, and then the plastic goes over that, like you're making them into a burrito or a mummy, and let them just marinate in that for an hour or more and see how it works.
Yeah, so that's kind of, is that like similar to like a hot water and like a hot shower and then a clean cold towel treatment, something similar?
It is if the body generates enough heat while you're wrapped inside this thing. If you, the whole idea, they originally did these with herbal wraps. They put in different Ayurvedic herbs, Chinese herbs, American herbs, whatever, and then cause the heat to get into the body so the person would sweat and perspire and release toxins from the body. And at the same time, all these nutrients, because the skin opens up and the pores get a little wider because you're perspiring, all these nutrients get driven into the bloodstream and the body recovers quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I saw from like Richard Schultz, his books and stuff. So yeah.
Dr. Schultz. Now, just a while ago, I was talking about two of the items that you'll want to keep handy all the time: cotton ball and a cotton, whatever this is. Women use this for taking off makeup and cosmetics.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pad. It's a cotton pad. All right, and a cotton ball. And you can use it for any skin conditions, including keep putting it in your belly button.
Oh.
Right. The other thing that's good to have is Q-tips. All right, with Q-tips, you can either do dabbing it somewhere, or if you're going to go clean out wax in your ears, you're also going to put the urine in there to go into the eustachian tube, so that has a chance of getting into the sinus cavities.
I heard about those. I heard about those that like when they're cleansing, that like when you are cleansing like ears with that's actually pushing it more inside. Is that true, or like what do you think?
You think it's pushing it more inside using the tip, the Q-tip?
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna show you something if I find.
They might have a point there. This is why there's alternatives, and I'm going to show you an alternative here in just a minute. So what you missed on last Tuesday is I explained, on Tuesday, I was explaining how to do general treatment suggestions. When someone comes up to you, now this is someone who's taken my books and some of the other books and really studied how to make this work, and you're interested in either being a teacher or a therapist. When someone comes up to you, you'll know what to recommend, drinking, bathing, foot soaks, enemas, etc. So with general treatment suggestions, you get good at this. You get good at seeing where their complaints are and how to best drive the nutrients into the areas that need it, as well as feeding and nurturing the entire body. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I agree with that. I have to take books at the end.
Have you ever seen one of these?
Is that like a syringe?
Yeah, this is known as, they sell these in drugstores and grocery stores. It's known as an earwax removal kit. That's what they're calling it. But what it is just this plastic syringe that holds 20 cc's of liquid, and the tip, it comes like this with the tip. Bingo. Okay, so if it's big enough, can you bring it closer to the camera?
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, so that's like 3 times the size.
Yeah.
All right, and in some of the drugstores, I've gone in and said, "You guys have the earwax removal syringes?" And one drugstore says, "No, we don't sell them in the store, but let me give you one as a compliment." Who knew? So with these guys, you're going to fill it up. I'm not going to demo because I'm not going to splash this all over my desk. But I learned this technique and got this based on the recommendation of a guy who calls himself Kombucha Clark. And so what he suggests, if you tilt your head one way, if you tilt your head this way, it's going to basically go up and clean it out. But if you tilt your head this way and really press down the stopper, it'll drive it deeper into these cavities. And then you put in a cotton ball and just hold it as long as you can, and then let it drain. Now, if you want, you can also use this for nasal drinking.
Oh, yeah.
It's got enough pressure that it's going to assert enough energy to get up into here. And until you learn how to drink it right out of the jar and the glass and the bottle, these are alternatives.
Yeah.
Was it you? Was it you I was talking about, Neti Pot?
Yeah.
So Natalie, Neti Pot, you can actually if you practice it, you can have it come up one side, block the other side, and then sniff really hard and bring it up into the sinuses up here. Because we want to open up and nourish the pineal gland so it gets hydrated again. You can get these pretty much everywhere. They look differently in different stores.
Yeah, I have a blue one. Yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah. About cleaning the eyes.
Yeah. You want to explain it to Natalie?
Yeah, you take that one and you like pee there like a fresh urine, and then you wanna like open your eyes completely, and you wanna take one of the sides that can fit an open eye, and then you just hold it and blink a few times, and then in another one, and then a brother told me that because every drop of urine is precious, you don't want to waste it, so you can do it like this, and then you can go to your eyes again. Yeah. Everything is absorbed.
Yes, very much. These things are like $5, $8, whatever. You can get it anywhere. This is glass. I'm sure they have it in plastic. And some people in India, you can probably find some of the videos. This one guy, he's got two at once. He's doing both eyes at once. Just remember that after you've already worked on one eye and you tilt the glass back, you're still going to have some urine inside the eye cup. But after you remove it from the eye, it's going to drip on your cheek. So just massage it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that.
And you switch to the other side. And the reason I do it over the cornea and the retina is because I learned from Doc Roz Hansen. And she says it's another way to flush out any impurities, any floaters, anything that's on the cornea. So that's the eye cup, guys. Now, if you don't have this, I guess you could use a shot glass, whatever will you can create a suction over the eye. That's why this is so perfect.
Yeah, it looks very good.
It looks really good. Other thing I would talk about is what's down there. You know about the diffuser. We already had a class on that one.
Yeah.
Now these are nifty because you can take them wherever you go. They're like 3 or 4 inches long.
Yeah, that can easily fit in my like pocket.
You can fit it. This part comes off. Actually, this comes off too. And then there's where it connects and does its magic with the micro-sized mesh filter. And I imagine, I haven't tried this yet. Can you imagine walking around town there? It comes with a mask. Where's the mask? It comes with, did we have this talk? It's funny as hell. Walk around town, and if somebody gives you shit about not wearing a mask, you go, well, I got a mask on right here. I'm wearing my mask. I just happen to be doing urine therapy. Leave me alone. By the way, if you start telling everybody you're doing urine therapy, you're going to find out who your friends are.
Yeah. Yeah. So can that be done with like a regular one that people use, like with water and stuff? Or is it?
You're talking about the same device?
Yeah, but just bigger that they're using hospitals or like mothers at home when they want to like a little bit help the sinuses.
Yeah, you can put this in anything. If you have a diffuser, if you have a respirator, I just had a respirator, but I gave it away because it's not as effective as this one. This pumps out a whole lot of vapor. And pretty much any device. Now, this is not a set rule. When you read my books and you hear me talking, it's not that you have to have the same kind of devices. Make it up. Go to the store one day, or go to a garage sale one day and look around, and all of a sudden you get inspired by something in and go, I know how to use that. This is how I made up a lot of these protocols. I just followed my intuition and goes, oh, yeah, you can take one of these with a spray top, and wherever you go, you can spray this on your face or somewhere. So I call this the piss mister.
Yeah.
It's all made up. Yeah. And these, I highly recommend that people carry their aged Oran, their evolving Oran, in either cobalt or copper glass bottle. So anytime during the day, if your energy drops and your brain fogs up and you're not clear and you need to come back, take a dropper full of it. This is 3 years old. You take a dropper full and your brain comes back online. So there's a fun. Do you have one of these? Do you have one of these bottles?
I had like I don't use that water as well. So when I go to hair cutter, I have not that one, but the other one with like a spray, and I put the still water there. And then when they want to cut my hair that always grows too big, they like spray it with that, and that it gets like wet enough for cutting.
Well, great. Oh, that sounds good. And if you have one of these, you got your supply. Now, not only are you going to use it for drinking, but if you got cuts, burns, scratches, stings, whatever, you're good to go. And I don't know if I talked to you, but God, I talk to a lot of people. When you really take to heart what Shivambu is and how it's healing you and how it's helping you, then that will be your go-to as your first aid.
Yeah, that's like the first thing. If I have a cut or something, the first thing I do is like pee on it or something, you know?
Yeah. And if you're talented, you could flip your legs over your head and pee in your mouth, but I haven't got there yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm not that flexible yet.
That's an advanced yoga position, I guess. What else can I show you guys?
I got a question quick. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. What's the oldest aged urine that you have?
The oldest that I have this is 3 years old, and I've got a 1-year-old in the closet.
Oh, I see.
Why do you ask?
Oh, because I want to save some of mine and just leave it for a long time too.
Yeah, and it's simple. Put it somewhere where you'll remember where it is, but you don't think about it.
Yeah.
The other thing more and more people are doing is they're experimenting with drying it out and watching it transform into crystals, which many believe is Oramus alchemical gold, is the white powder of gold that Saint Germain worked with.
That's interesting that you say that, because my jars this morning that I took the oldest urine I had, which is probably 3 weeks now, and when I dumped all the urine on me, the inside of the jar had this white crystal stuck all over it, and I had to scrub it like crazy to get it out of there. And so I was going to ask you what that was. So,
well, one of my students, Monette, came up with this idea. She took a plate, either a plate or a tray, like a cooking tray, and she put urine in it and then put a cellophane wrapper on the top of it and just left it alone for a couple of days while it dried out. And then it turned into powder and she put it in capsules.
Oh. So what can people do with that later on?
What they do with it is they take it like you're taking a vitamin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, if you're in a situation and you want to have some Orin in your system, but you got none on you and you're carrying capsules with you, that's your second best choice. Take it. And some people like to take it at night so they don't have to get up in the middle of the night to pee, but they still got Orin in their system.
Yeah.
And it may be a way that we can introduce it to newbies. Who knows?
Yeah, especially those like medical lovers, like, oh, you can try a simulation, you see, like a medicine.
Well, that's the whole idea. See, people take vitamins and supplements all the time, and they trust it. They don't really know what's in it and what's, how they produce it. But we know what we got. So, and then some people are leaving it out in the sun to dry out. That's something I want to be able to do. When I got my hands on Dr. Hansen's over in Las Vegas in 2018, she passed it around and it was a little container about that thick. And we got to open it up. We got to smell it. We got to touch our fingers in it. And that's something I want to create, is to have like a 1 ounce powder jar that I can take anywhere and just, dip it, snort it, whatever it is, just to have that experience.
Yeah. I would like to try all of that too. Just a second.
Nikolai, you turned off your camera.
Oh, really? Wait, what's happening?
Earth and Nicola, come in.
Hello, hello.
Hey guys.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Of course you're here. You're always here. Where else would you be? Well, I'm not here.
What better way to spend time? Yeah, I agree.
So today I want to bring up the Damar Tantra. The Damar Tantra. And in order to do that, I've got to go grab another book. So teach people something. Go ahead.
Well, now I have to take a class for the 2 seconds.
I guess the teacher in you is not ready to step into that role yet.
Yeah, I guess so. Step by step.
So this book is called The Secret of Youthing. It's by one of my mentors and spiritual teachers, Leonard Orr. It may or may not be in print anymore, but he goes into detail. This was the inspiration for me to start doing urine therapy. Now, my Bible was Golden Fountain by Cohen Vanderkroon out in Holland, and it's still a classic. It's still a masterpiece. But this spoke to me because I have a connection with Shiva and Babaji. So in there, we have the Damar Tantra. You know what the Damar Tantra is?
Talking about urine therapy, like talks between like gods about urine.
This is the holy scriptures of the Hindu tradition of urine therapy. And how it has been explained is that Shiva, who is one of their gods, the creator and destroyer and the healer and does all kinds of stuff, he was asked by his partner Parvati. Shiva was asked by Parvati, how do you stay so young, strong, healthy, and sexy? And he says, drink of yourself and live. So the Damar Tantra is a 9-year program in which you use urine therapy in specific ways. There it is, 9 months, 8 years. In 8 years, the follower can conquer all the 5 important elements of the universe and be immortal. So this goes from how to heal yourself to how to achieve physical immortality in 9 years. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Sounds very cool.
So the reason we bring it up is to show you that this got a 5,000-year history. And there's country after country that talks about the Damar Tantra, which is still floating around free on the internet. So there's ways that you can see it and read it. And it even talks about, this is really cool. People say, should I just store my urine in glass or plastic, or what should I use? But listen to this list. It's pretty impressive. All right. Where is it? Where is the list? It includes copper. It includes brass. It includes wooden containers. You can store it. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. The urine is to be drunk from pots made of gold, silver, copper, brass, iron, tin, glass, earth, bamboo, bones, leather, or a bowl made of plantain leaves.
What's brass?
Brass is a metal.
Oh.
It's like copper.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
So, but we're kind of lazy, and we're spoiled in 2021. So we go for a recycled juice jar.
Yeah.
But every now and then it's kind of fun to walk around garage sales and see something that seems really ancient and traditional and bring that home and use that.
Yeah, I thought maybe because like the lady was talking like on a urine therapy conference about like how earthing is increasing like ions in the urine. Maybe it's best to make like your own earth and like pots and then like connect it to the earth and just leave it to age there, and then it will be like double the effect.
Yeah, since this is an evolutionary water, pretty much anything you want to do with it is only going to help it.
And I even thought like of making something like a earthen pot and then to put like a glass in the middle or something, and then put it like on a certain angle outside, and then it to be charged from the sun and from the earth and from everything.
Yeah, why don't you do that and make a video?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I contacted today one guy who is like archaeologist, and he's going to help me to like learn all those like Neolithic skills of how to make things from earth and stuff. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, well, it sounds real practical.
Yeah.
Something you can use all the time. Any questions?
Well,
any questions about what we talked about today?
It's yeah, it's kind of clear because yeah, it's kind of like a historical thing. But I want to add that like I think that all the cultures are having a little bit of like a trace of those, because for example, doctors in like the first world countries before they used to like taste urine when they want to test for diabetes, like patients. And also there is like a mentioning of that in the Bible too, and everywhere.
Well, the Bible, there's a quote everybody seems to be quoting. Oops, my green screen's flying everywhere. There's a quote in the Bible that says, "Drink of your own cistern."
Yeah.
And most people interpret that as meaning cistern means your own vessel, which would be your own body coming from your own bladder.
Didn't like John Armstrong, I read somewhere that he just read that verse from the Bible, and it says like drink from your own fountain and put it on your head, and he just followed that, and he like lost like, I don't know, 80 pounds or something, and then he broke like fast after 40 days with raw meat, and then he continued afterwards to drink urine. Did he want to do that like that?
However he got inspired, it affected the course of the urine therapy movements. And his book came out in 1944. Then it came out in 1971 as a revision of it. And he had people doing urine fasts for like 100 days to heal blindness. He had people curing the incurables. So in 1944, this was pretty far out stuff. And what was so interesting, and you may come across this when people come up to you and they want to talk about urine therapy, is none of us are licensed practitioners. We're all lay persons who just have a love and a compassion for our humans, and we want to tell them what's been helping us and what's been changing our health and our lives.
Yeah.
And so it's not evidence-based, it's faith-based. And the people who are getting the results, they don't need to have a lot of statistics and medical science behind it. They trust the person who told them about it and look at their lives improve.
Yeah, that's the most legit way of proving things, because like studies and things like that, they can be like they can diversify based on who is funding it and stuff like that. But when you have somebody look to you in the eyes, and if a person is sick and they say like, you know, like take this and you will live, then I think that people can trust it more.
Those reports can be altered.
Yeah.
However, you can't fake it when someone's looking you in the eyes and heart to heart, and you see that their life is working.
Yeah, that's different. That's soul connection. So
this is why we tend to step into the spiritual and the metaphysical conversations a lot when it comes to the Shivambu use and the Shivambu lifestyle, because you can't separate it.
Yeah, it's one of the things that like Andrew Norton Weber said, that the words for light, love, and this thing, they have like the same origin, and somehow he connects that to urine, but I lost the thought.
Yeah, and it'd be great to talk to him someday if he ever comes back out in the public. This guy was channeling all kinds of great information and great teachings for many, many years before he disappeared. But he got it. He totally nailed distilled water, urine therapy, fasting, and he got the message out big time around the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. Like he was the one who introduced me to the distilled water. And I remember that the first time I was actually out with my friend, and I took like a little sip of distilled water, and I went outside and I was walking, and I felt like some light came over me, and I felt so lightheaded, and I was like, oh wow, like so many stuff have to come out of me, and I felt like illuminated. So cool.
Now, a lot of people consider Shivambu as distilled water. Do you know what the word distilled means?
It's a without still, so just pure H2O, but urine has a lot of other components. It's more like nourishing, and it has other healing properties.
Well, distilled water is a controversial water because the people who don't do the research, they think it pulls out all minerals of the body. In truth, it just takes out the inorganic matter, inorganic particulates out of the body. But the word distilled, if you take the word DIS and you separate DI from STILL, it means the opposite. So distilled means to make not still, but activated.
Yeah, because like distilled water has a negative magnetic charge, and toxins have positive magnetic charge. And then when it comes inside of the body, it's impossible to like demineralize bones and things like that.
Yeah, and this is why people like Norman Walker, who lived to be 108. He was one of the health food nutrition gurus of the 60s and 70s. He lived to be 108, and he was a big advocate of distilled water.
Yeah, I read his book. Like, is it? I forgot the name of it, but it's like a small book. I have it at home. I read it like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, I would recommend anything by Norman Walker or Bernard Jensen.
Yeah, about the second guy, I never heard about, but about the first guy, he's a like juicer, like Norman Juicer or something.
Well, yeah, he developed one of the first juices called the Norwalk, and it was a press. It was before they had centrifugal force, and before they had the triticale twister one. He had it where it would under intense pressure. First they would juice it, and then they would put it in these cloth bags and put it into this press, and it would press the juice out. Every last drop would come out and nothing but pulp left over. So that was him. And Bernard Jensen, what he did he traveled the world looking for cures. And he wrote about it, and he brought it back to the world.
Yeah, I know how that Norman juicer looks like. I was seeing the video, but I failed at remembering the name.
Yeah, it's a press.
And then Jay Kordich, yeah, he was kind of like the next one.
Jay Kordich, the juice man, juicer. Yeah. Great guy. And I went through those years. I had every possible juicer, from the Champion to the Green Star, the all these, the best of the best, until I moved my whole diet into fruit. And then my teeth is now my juicer.
Oh, yeah. Now you don't have a reason to juice anymore. Like everything is watery.
Everything is watery. Everything is available. There are days where I'll have 5 or 6 bowel movements during the day. And I wondered why I was ever constipated.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a Zoom call. Looks like our class is going to be cut a little short today. But if you have any questions about anything? How are you doing in introducing this to newbies?
Well, I talked to some people here and there, but they're like shocked, like, what? You're using that? Like, it's like, are you gonna die? oh yeah, I have one question about my teeth, like the wisdom teeth from the right side. I was like brushing my teeth, and like I started to brush with urine, and I have some aged urine, but I don't know how old it is. It just stands in my my bedroom, and I started washing this teeth, and it started to hurt, and gum started to hurt, and it hurts for some time when I touch it now. And then I tried later on a little bit like urine pulling with the fresh urine, but the pain doesn't go away, and I didn't have a pain before I used the aged urine on it, so I don't know what to do.
Okay. when you pull it and leave it in your mouth, you give it like 5, 10, or 15 minutes before you swallow it?
No, I was doing just a little bit.
Okay, see if you can retain it in your mouth longer each time.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to be able to saturate the area.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a good idea to fast once in a while. Some people practice fasting one time a week, so that you're not adding anything else to overwork the body to draw out of your teeth and out of your gums. Because
so
your body.
In terms of fasting, I want to ask you, like, what kind of fasting would you recommend? Like just urine fast, or like dry fast, or like?
Well, they're all going to work. It all depends on what you feel safe and comfortable with. I did a master cleanser fast back in 1978, 1979 for 45 days. So I found a lot of value in fasting, and you don't want to necessarily focus on a liquid per se unless you're aiming for a high nutritional concentration. I mean, urine is the highest nutritional concentration, followed by fresh squeezed juices, distilled water, etc. I would also combine it with enemas and massage and body massage. You know a good massage therapist?
I never did enemas so far. That's kind of.
Do you know a massage therapist?
Well, there is many of them, but I never visited any so far.
Find one. Either pay them or trade them.
Yeah.
The whole body stores all kinds of things in it. And if you haven't had lymphatic drainage, or if you haven't had any visceral massage on your intestines or open up the spinal area, you owe it to yourself to know what it feels like without having any inflammation or pain anywhere in the body.
I was going to this chiropractor from time to time, and he like helps my spine and everything. And then I felt a lot better, but I never had a massage.
Well, massage gives you that most valuable vitamin L. You get to have your body nurtured and loved for an hour to an hour and a half, and then your love tank is filled up and you don't feel touch starved.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a lifestyle. I get a massage every 10 to 14 days. But I built it in. I've been doing this for years and years, and it's high on my priority list.
Yeah.
It's like doing your.
Yeah, I see that you're always like relaxed and everything. Like it's probably due to that too.
Well, it takes a mindful act to do your personal well-being practices. Some call it spiritual practices. And the whole idea is for you to clear out all the old belief systems and programming and domestication you got from your parents, society, religion, education, medicine, television, that said anything other than you're okay the way you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to get back to you're okay the way you are. I love myself. I'm going to be kind, respectful, and take care of my inner child and my physical needs. And life will start getting better and better.
Yeah, it's all about improvement. Yeah, I agree with that.
And the unprogramming.
Unlearning and unprogramming.
Have you come across a book called A Course in Miracles?
I think I'm joining a Facebook group, A Course in Miracles, but I didn't research it further.
Well, A Course in Miracles basically is a 1-year course, and every day you get a lesson. It comes in a workbook. And what it teaches you is that you have to unlearn what the world taught you. It's a book about unlearning so that you can remember who you are.
Yeah, kind of like stripping the layers of fakeness, so that like it's kind of like what people say who are like how do you call that that brain disease that people have in old age. I forgot the name.
Alzheimer's?
Yeah. And people have like Alzheimer's, and then like if a husband has it or wife, they have like eyes that are like very like blurred, and like they don't know where they are, and they're like lost. And then when they start practicing a healthier lifestyle, like there is like few blinks that happen, like for 5 minutes, person is like themselves again, and then people are like thankful, like, oh, this brought my wife back or something. For
Yeah. And if you're doing your spiritual practices every day, and you're being honest with yourself, and you're having clear communication in your relationships, then you won't have stuck energy, and you won't be withdrawing from life. What happens is when people get older and they don't feel they have a sense of a life that's got a sense of purpose anymore. You know, they did their life and they got married and they did their job and they had kids, and right? So at some point, people start shutting down. They close off their emotional body. They pull away. They move into some other fantasy world, and they're in conflict with themselves. And so if you bring people back to balance and back to sanity again, all of a sudden the disease goes away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most of that is like, many of those things could be like emotional blockages. And from my experience, from people I know, my family and stuff, it tends to be more on the woman's side than on the guy's side, because guys are like a beast. They want to do whatever they want to do, but the women are kind of a little bit more like shy and things like that. So like, for example, my grandma, she needed love and support, and she died of depression being alone, you know, in a room. Like we visited her a few times a week or something, but she would only eat basically when we come, because otherwise she didn't have motivation to breathe or read or nothing. And she literally just was sitting on the bed one day and just closed her eyes and just shut off completely. So I saw the whole process from the beginning to the end.
Right. Wow. See, this is one of the reasons that my massage practice exploded and just started getting bigger and bigger when the shutdown happened last year, because the word got out that I'm one of the few people in this town who's touching people. And, you know, babies and senior citizens, if they're not touched enough, they'll die.
Oh, yeah.
And we're no different. We're children in adult bodies who still crave human contact and physical affection.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
So I recommend that you and Natalie and everybody get no less than 6 hugs a day.
That sounds good.
It's valuable not only because it brings love, exchange of love. It stimulates endorphins, which is the love molecule, but it also exchanges microbes, which are healthy bacteria for your gut and for your body.
Yeah. Like for example, in Serbian history, maybe I mentioned that before, but when people live in underground houses, there would be like one big hall and like 10, 20 people there, and people would sneeze on each other, cough on each other and stuff, and there would be no record of modern sickness or nothing, because their immune system was very strong.
Yeah, and no one's going to say, oh, how dumb of you, you coughed on me.
Yeah. Yeah, they spit on each other and take and like put it in each other's noses and play with it and stuff.
Yeah, as you can tell, they have a different way of holding that in their mind. It's a different belief system.
Yeah, different system of value.
Tomorrow, we're going to have the World Urine Therapy Zoom call number 10. It's the same time tomorrow. It'll start at 10:30.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to one of them?
I was on ninth one.
Ninth one. All right. You get to meet some of the movers and shakers in the movement.
Yeah. I saw some people, and like when I spoke about how I have a friend who has 400 sheep, like people are looking at me like, where did you come from? Like,
hey, did you get the video I sent you of the sheep down the street from where I live?
No, I didn't saw that. Can you send it again?
I can send it. It's probably my Facebook page, but I'm going for a hike. I could do a 3.5 mile hike every day when the weather's, doable. And so I would stop, and just all of a sudden my eyes would scan a countryside or the mountains or the sky, whatever it is. And I noticed there was about 100, 150 sheep, all different coats of different colors, all in this open field. And I go, get a camera. This is for Nicola. Let's get a photo. So there's a video on my Facebook page. I'll see if I can get it for you.
Yeah, because my account was disabled, so maybe I couldn't see because of that, but I can see now.
So did you work out whatever you had to keep your Facebook account?
Yeah. Basically, it was like I just wrote something very funny. I mean, it's not Facebook saw it as an impersonalization, but like some girl texted on some post, and instead of like putting a comment at the person who posted it, she responded to my comment, and I said, I think you wrote a comment on the wrong place, and they took that as an impersonalization and they disabled my account. So
okay, lesson learned.
Yeah, it was nothing offensive, but I'm not gonna tease people like that.
There are people who are on the edge. There are people who will be triggered no matter what you do. So you can't stop being true to yourself, but you expect that there's trolls and crazy people out there who just causing trouble.
Yeah, it looks like the army is building up of them more and more as the time goes on.
Yeah, gotta be careful. So anything else before we go? I think we're going to come to a close here.
Natalie, do you have any questions?
I just have one final comment. I've given over 10,000 Uber and Lyft rides now, and I used to offer my passengers hugs goodbye before last year. And I've given thousands of hugs to people from all over the world, and people would always tell me, I needed that. I had so many beautiful experiences loving everybody.
God, you are blessed. You are blessed. Now people go, I want the hugging Uber lady. I want to go in her car.
Yeah. Well, I give everybody an uplifting message too that I handwrite. Well, some of them say like, you are a gift to humanity, or the light of your smile warms the world. I came up with, our breathing is like a symphony that connects us all together. So everybody wants me to be their driver all the time. But I just love loving everybody unconditionally, because you never know what traumas we've all endured and what our ancestors endured.
Yeah. And you never know what state of mind or emotions people are when you meet them.
Yeah. I'm finding like yesterday, a couple of my passengers were expressing how the situations in their life, they couldn't forgive the people that these situations were unfolding with. And I was reminding them that, well, you got to consider what is that other person going through too. But they're like, I'm never going to forgive them. I'm like, well, it's only hurting you and your body, not them. But I don't know how to get the blocks out of people's minds from that, like to really help them realize if you forgive people, you're going to be so much happier and healthier.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like I can say like from like my studying of like history and these things, that there was culture here in Serbia called Vinge, or like Vinje, you can say, translate like that in English, that people basically lived in like earthen houses, like above ground, and everybody worked for themselves, and they lived for 2,000 years without any conflict besides any like personal fights and stuff. Like they all lived together for 2,000 years. And if somebody would have an access, they wouldn't like be like, oh, I'm a boss, but they would go outside of the country, and they would actually start to trade and to buy and sell and these things. And when people start like with money system back in the days, with whatever they had, like they didn't see somebody else as an enemy anymore. They see as a potential buyer. So when they come back, they have enough food that is stocked in their home. And that's why people build homes for comfort and not for safety, like we build today, like of hard brick material and concrete. And the same things is happening in India. In India, I think they have one place where like maybe some village from 200 people, and none of them have like a locks on that or on their doors. Everything is open all the time. So, and yeah, then when Neolithic period ended in Europe, then that's where war began and usage of other people, and that was like catastrophe afterwards. But for 2,000 years, people had complete peace, generation after generation in nature.
Well, today they're talking about the 1,000 years of peace. We had a conversation last night. We have these metaphysical talks here at the sanctuary. And we were talking about, well, the Bible and a lot of the sacred texts talk about we're entering into the golden age in which we'll have 1,000 years of peace. And so we're sitting there going like, why isn't it forever?
Yeah.
And when everybody returns to the eternal here and now time, then they experience eternal now time. So peace is forever for them. As long as you can maintain staying present and staying conscious without going unconscious or hurting yourself, I think you have a great chance of having an awesome, blessed life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, like, for example, from my like religious background, Orthodox Christian monks, they always say that you don't get heaven when you like jump through the stairs and go on the clouds. You take it here while you're on the earth. You pray, you live morally, you respect other people, and when you feel fulfilled, that's like an atmosphere of heaven that enlightens the world. And yeah, teachings like that.
So with that note, we're going to bless you and everyone who's watching this call to carpe the you-know-what out of the rest of the day and make it a beautiful way to help other people and enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Hope to catch you guys on the call tomorrow. If not, our next class is going to be Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm going to be tomorrow, I think.
Okay, if either one of you, let me turn off the recording here.